Hola, buenos días, soy Nico.
It's unfortunate that people can change something that was just pure innocent fun into drama.
What's wrong? Why you so mad? 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 Why you so mad, Elaine? Why you so mad? You're right. I am. I'm a whole lot of things, but they don't bother me. I'm a whole lot of.
And today we are going to be discussing a video that went viral, not from a popular, well-known performer, but by a recently new one, if the numbers are telling an accurate story. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive live weekly videos, be a part of the podcast, and to get early access to YouTube videos. Nico, I decided to start adding this in, even though these videos are being uploaded before my channel is back, just because, like I said, these are going to be uploaded afterwards, so you guys are getting the early tea here on Patreon. But let's get started on the actual video. Started. I'm so sorry. But yes, this is going to be about someone named Jordan Allen. I got this based on their GoFundMe. Basically, they went viral because they decided to upload a video with their parents, adoptive parents. I need to specify that. Basically, his adoptive parents found his Onlyfans/Twitter page, and there were multiple conversations that led to escalations and arguments based on them not thinking it's right and them calling him dirty for posting and doing all these things.
Make sure we get all this.
I want you to hush. And first of all, what I said
I love going viral.
I asked you.
Oh yeah.
I asked you.
Oh, maybe I need to go
if
live.
You had.
Go live. I mean, you're not gonna have but about 2 viewers. I mean,
that don't matter.
Okay, cool. I have over 100,000.
Oh, we know because you've been sucking dick and getting fucked in the ass.
I might be, but that's something that you tried to do, and obviously it didn't work.
Oh, no, baby, I never tried to do that.
Oh, really? You want to roll the tapes?
You're going to have to go, John.
Elaine, let me tell you something.
If you're going to go all talking about your mother and all
I'm not talking about her.
So, as you saw in the first 2 videos, he basically uploaded videos of his mom and dad trying to talk to him, and his mom is the one being belligerent and basically aggressive. Though in the conversation, you can see that he is also coming back with vitriol and antagonizing them. And in this particular situation, I'm not going to slam the hammer down on him for basically being sassy and smart with remarks, because I used to be the same way. It's like, at a certain age, your parents trying to talk to you like an infant infuriates you. Even if they are your adoptive parents, you still have that baseline of, I am an adult, you need to talk to me like an adult, or else we're going to have some friction. So them going back and forth about calling him disgusting and him bragging, well, I have so much money, and if you could do it, you would have done it. And the dad trying to interrupt him, saying, you shouldn't talk about your mom like that. And the mom going back and forth saying, you get bleeped in the butthole, and that's the only reason why you have all these followers. And from the video that went viral, I'm thinking, oh, this is like a super famous performer that just told his parents about his, OnlyFans. I go on his Twitter and he's like barely on the blip of analytics. So his parents were getting on him hard. And I understand as a parent wanting your child to not have to go through that, because when my parents found out about it, my sister, Nico, I don't think I've ever told this story. Like, my sister, I remember, my parents follow my YouTube. They understand that I do social commentary. But I guess since I started talking about it on my YouTube, my mom picked up on it, and so did the rest of my family. Because I remember when I was back home for the holidays, my sister went, Nico, what do you do on OnlyFans? And my mom was like, this is not the time. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh, our cousin Asia, she saw one of your videos and she said that you talked about having an OnlyFans. And I knew my family would eventually find out. But I remember I've told my mom stuff like, oh, I used to be a stripper. Nico, I used to be a stripper at like 21 because I wanted to. I date older people. I do things like this, do that. We have small conversations like that. We even talked about like jokingly anal. So I'm like, I've had like an open dialogue with my family about that kind of thing since we, worked through our trauma. So it was never like a big discussion. If anything, my mom always told me, well, until you find a career that's going to support you the way this supports you, I'm perfectly fine with you doing whatever you have to do to get around in life, because times is tough like leather. And coming from a family that's always been like lower middle class, constantly like in the struggle to stay in that bracket, my mom is one of those people that's like, girl, as long as you pay the bills, I don't give a fuck what you do. And I respected that so much from her. But back to this story, having your family find out about your OnlyFans in a destructive way, especially when you're living under their roof. Like, I feel like my situation would have been a lot different if I was still living under my mom's roof, but seeing as how I'm in a different city across the country, she's just like, as long as you pay the bills. Because me and my family used to have friction even about my sexuality until I moved out and did not have contact with them for a year. So I feel like once you leave the space of your family and you give them time to sit down and see what life is without you, then they will actively try to change, or you just have to move accordingly. As for the second video that he uploaded, Nico explaining the situation, basically saying how his mother is always putting him down, how they're always low-key homophobic and attacking him. I felt for him. You know, he was sharing a vulnerable moment. I thought it was a key that first and foremost, he lowered his voice in that video. Nico, he was regular flamboyant when going back and forth with his parents, but when he was trying to appeal to people and seem hard, he deepened his voice and he recorded the video naked. And I think I've talked about this, like when that Jesus Really guy did a video about what he was going through in the industry and he was butt booty ass naked with a heart on. I was just sitting there like, y'all do realize, yes, you might get a slight more attention for being naked while doing this, but overall, your PP waving in the wind while you're trying to have a serious discussion like this is always going to detract from the conversation, because it's going to make it seem like you aren't being serious. That doesn't mean you necessarily have to come in like business attire, but trying to have an intellectual and or emotional empathetic moment with your dick out never works. It never works. And I'm trying I try to wrap my head around it, like, you really wanted to explain this with a hard on, but I feel like it's just a vibe for more attention to the actual conversation. But back to the dialogue.
Let me tell y'all something. The only reason I do OnlyFans is because I ain't got nobody else but myself. So when I had to go into OnlyFans, it's because my first apartment that I had got, I had lost it due to Corona. I had tried to move back home or whatever. That didn't work out because it just, me and my mother don't see eye to eye. Me and my daddy, we can have a conversation, we can talk. He's a little bit more, you know, cordial than her. She just very entitled, and she just feels as though she always have something negative to say about anybody. Like, I was in my room and I had left my phone in there and I had left the audio on, and when I had got my phone the next morning, I had listened to the audio or whatever, and she was basically on the phone talking about me, talking about how I'm nasty and I'm this and I'm that. How you cried on the phone and told me to come home, and I bought a bus ticket and I came home, but yet you on the phone with me in the house thinking I'm asleep talking about me, and I'm supposed to be your son, and I'm the youngest at that. I don't care what nobody say to me, this is my story. And then on top of it, it don't matter if my kid did OnlyFans or whatever, that's not finna make me disown my kid. You understand what I'm saying? Just because somebody do something is not gonna make me disown my kid. There's a lot of people out here. It's several people out here that is disrespectful. Y'all see Dr. Phil. Y'all see all of these shows. It's a bunch of people out here that be disrespectful, worse than me. And I literally sit there and I take all of these low blows. Don't cuss nobody out. Don't say nothing. I may say a couple of words, but of course, everybody gonna have a couple of things to say because you sitting up here telling me all of this inappropriate shit, and then not only you going down my Twitter, looking at my Twitter. Like I told her, I said, to be a mother, that is nasty for my mother to sit up here and go down my Twitter and watch all of my videos. Like, what are you trying to do? Get off? But any of that, I just want to clear some stuff up and just say I am very thankful for the people that stick by my side.
I genuinely feel for him, and I understand having to get back on your feet, especially because he said he started OnlyFans because of the pandemic and he lost his apartment because of it, so he had to move back home and rebuild. So I get that, and he even put up a GoFundMe to help him get back on his feet. But once again, I feel like it really detracts from the conversation. But I'm going to lead the conversation up to you guys from here now that we have all the information. How do you feel about a family having homophobic and low-key violent reactions to their children entering sex work, entering OnlyFans, especially as an adoptive family, meaning they chose to bring this person into the family and now they're having this violent reaction to them doing what they want with their body? How do you feel about him still living in his parents' household under their roof because of the panini press and trying to get back on his feet with OnlyFans and or sex work, and he's having so much internal and external strife at home because of what he's choosing to do to get back on his feet? Because I've always had this conversation, like I said in the Rico Pruitt video. People don't understand sex work is very lucrative, but you have to have a built-in fan base for OnlyFans in particular. But it is a quick way to get back on your feet. For example, we've seen in movies, we've read in books. I don't know if y'all read these kind of books. I used to read like little hoodish stories like Blueford series. This wasn't in the Blueford series, but point is, we've seen how people go to stripping, go to cam work, etc. to get back on their feet during hard times because it is quick, lucrative money. But once again, that money is quick and it leaves just as quickly. And then it also, depending on what kind of career you're trying to go into, could low-key prevent you from reaching higher goals in your future. But I'll leave the conversation to you guys. How do you feel about this situation? After the panini press, let's say if you were left at rock bottom, would you ever consider going to stripping? Would you ever consider going to OnlyFans? Once again, let's have a respectful conversation in the comments, but I definitely want to hear your opinions on the situation. And I will see you guys next time. Boop.